It is in literature that the concrete outlook of humanity receives its expression.
It takes a great deal of history to produce a little literature.
Literature adds reality. It is not simply describing, but it reaches the necessary competencies that daily life requires and provides. And in this respect, it irrigates deserts that our youth have already.
Literature is electric, fiction is necessity.
Mga hiyas na inilatag sa malasutlang dagat at ang bayan niyang pinili nasa sulok ng bahaghari, kaya't 1,000 kulay nangangakit kumakaway. Piliin mo rin ang Pilipinas, kapulo ang kwintas ng pela.
Yagnilamang is a famous Ilocano epic written by Pedro Bucanay, the father of Ilocano literature, and was later summarized and translated into English language by Antonio F. Villanueva. While watching or reading this epic, we will witness how brave Filipinos are. Have you ever heard the song Pamolina When? It is famous in Region 1. It talks about love of a persona to his true beloved. Ang Pag-asa were written by Isagani R.T. It tells about how love moves a person into a greater dimension of his hoping, even if that hope is already broken. Have you ever experienced rejection from your family? Being an outcast to your community? Avocado Tree by Marcelina A. Ferranda would serve as a mirror of life as it portrays real-life events that some families and individuals may have already encountered. This story teaches us that we should accept an individual whatever he she is, an LGBT or not.
Suitcase in the house, but the party's out. First choice, first love, if you ask the crowd. Come on, shout it out. Everybody's gonna dance to this. I see the whole world party in the Philippines. Now with Angelique, info going off on the TV screen. This is like
Talaguerta is a poem with an amazing melody that was embedded into it. This is a song with a great representation of Ibanag courtship. This song serves as a reminder to us, young man, that we should not let ourselves expect of things which are impossible to happen. As they say, too much love will kill you.
Okay. Sambali mo na yan.
Talaguerta, nena, nagtigataka, hanaputi, nakawa, pag-iunika, nakilala ko, ikinagin ko iyawa mo, ilabaw at inusin mo.
Okay na.
Yarigta ka, I compare you. This night, when you hear your loved ones comparing you to a thing, this song tells how a person compares his loved one to a different thing and make it pleasing to hear because of the arrangement of the chords put into it.
Biwag and Malana. It is a story about the rivalry of two men towards a lady. Others may have experienced the same, and one of the safety nature is contentment to what we have and acceptance of one's destiny. This story shows how wealth and power should be used properly in order for it not to abuse and vanish.
Ang nalulungkot, naiinip.
Have you ever put into situations wherein you deny your family background just because you are ashamed of it? Your experience then is somewhat related with that of your participants. This story would encourage us to change our perceptions with regards to some situations. That we should learn to be true to ourselves, for only truth will set us free. This story was written by Lourdes H. Rizal.
At buong grupo para mag-enjoy ng todo.
Halika, biyahe tayo.
Lang sugat. This love story written by Severina Reyes were about the eagerness of a woman. When can you see it for us to follow? Well, when choosing for our lifelong partner, at the right time, you should listen to the heart of our heart and follow what you think leads us to the path of happiness. This is one of the things that you should remember. Never let anyone take the person whom you are.
Namasdan mo na ba ang mga binta ng Sambuanga? Bulkang Mayon, Biis ng Boracay at La Union.
Tara na, biyahe tayo mula Basco hanggang Ulo nang makilala ng gusto ang ating kapwa Pilipino.
The Wedding Dance. A sensitively written story bringing out the tragedy inherited in native traditions. It talks about love, sacrifice, and the commitment to your loved ones. This story, written by Amador T. Daggio, would present to us the promise between married couples that had been broken due to circumstances. This story would let readers and viewers realize the importance of making wise decisions that would safeguard one's relationship.
Mo na ba ang sisig ng Pampanga?
The Giantess and the Three Children. This folktale would let us realize that greediness can never lead to progress, and sharing one's blessing wholeheartedly is the best way to preserve harmonious relationships among humans. For living with wealth alone does not guarantee you a healthy life. Instead, greediness would lead you to harm if you once realize that your wealth that serves as your life can never be permanent.
Nakisaya ka na ba?
Ulalim, the sign of peace and long epic of Kalinga, about loyalty, courage, betrayal, trust, agony, and revenge.
Siya sa naga, umakyat sa antipolo, sayaw sa ubando. Tara, biyahe tayo upang ating
Urbana at Felisa. An extraordinary poetic narration of burning passion, obedience, sensible danger, and compassion to nature. It is explicitly made of values and responsibility that all of us encounter in life. That's why everyone is encouraged to read on this piece, for it conveys all the corners. Ang kwento ni Mabuti. As professionals, we should leave our problems beyond the four corners of the classroom. This is a story written by Genoveva Edrosa Matute. It is a story portraying real-life events that some families had actually experienced.
Halika, biyahe tayo. Halika, biyahe tayo. Halika, biyahe tayo.
Footnote to the youth. We parents have experienced being overpowered by our children. This story written by Jose Garcia Villas would serve as a lesson that children, being guided by their parents, should learn from the experience and not to repeat the same mistake. Because every parent wants their children to be safe. Footnote to the youth. How do we face challenges that comes in our life? We have a lot from our brothers and sisters who are already despairing and tired of life's exigence. And this poem, written by Maximo Ramos, would serve as an energizer to rise up from life's oppression.
and give us the strength to hope for a new beginning.
Siksikan ang gaan, dito mainip man ang gaan. Kahit bored may paraan, kahit pawisan tawanan, kahit mag-isa ka man, kayang-kayang gumaan. Dito ang gaan, dito ang sarap, mag-refresh tayong lahat. Dito ang gaan.
To the man I married, we have our own loved ones, and we have our own way of expressing the love that we have for them. In the poem, the speaker shows how much she loved her husband. It also deals about eternal love.
The ignorant, the poor man, and the prince. In praying, we should not demand for the things which are impossible to be given by God alone. Things would only be possible if we will persevere or work hard for what we want to attain in life, and the answer could never be given instantly. So, we should learn to wait and accept whatever God has given in response to our prayers.
Dito ang gaan, dito ang sarap, palamig tayong lahat. Dito ang gaan, dito ang sarap, mag-refresh tayong lahat. Dito ang gaan, dito ang sarap, mag-destipash tayong lahat.
Have you ever experienced being betrayed by the person whom you have trusted? How does it feel? Sexual abuse is one of the most common cases here in our society, and the story written by Estrella Alfon entitled Magnificent would warn us that trusting a person, especially to a stranger, is tantamount to danger. As we go over this piece, it would bring us to the reality that to trust means letting one partake on your life. So a mother or a person should be sensitive enough with regard to this matter to make sure that your family, especially their children, would be free from abuses from the hands of the deceased.
Dito ang sarap, mag-refresh tayong lahat. Dito ang gaan, dito ang sarap.
We Filipinos have lots of malpractices that continuously pulls down not just our country's economy, but other aspects as well. These situations are best described by Australia Amph's Luxury City.
Halika dito kahit siksikan ang gaan, dito mainip man ang gaan. Kahit bored may paraan, kahit pawisan tawanan, kahit mag-isa ka man, kayang-kayang.
Mindanao, the origin of its name. One of the main island or archipelago of Philippines is Mindanao. The legend entails about how was the island of Mindanao was named. It is a challenging adventure of finding for water to quench their thirst. Patience and courage is also portrayed in this legend.
Sarap, mag-destipash tayong lahat. Dito kahit matraffic ay ang gaan, dito mahaba man ang pila ang gaan. Kaya i-refresh ang katawan, i-refresh ang isipan, i-refresh ang pananaw, at tayo ay humiyak.
Have you been to a place away from home where you had longed for the love of your family? This experience of longing were felt badly by our loved ones working abroad, and they find way to satisfy their desire for longing by letting themselves imagine the happy moments they had with their family when they were still here in the Philippines.
Tayong lahat.
Teka,
Naka